everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kay, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my empties from August. There's not a lot in here, so this shouldn't take a massive amount of time. But if you're not sure what an empties video is, essentially it is a video where people talk about the beauty products that they've used up, things that they've finished. They hang on to the rubbish and hold things up to the camera so that they can talk to you about them. I really like this style of video. I like to watch them, I like to film them. I just think that when you've used a product in its entirety, you've got a much better idea of how you really feel about that product rather than just based on a first impression. So with all of that being said, I am going to get into this now, and as usual I'm just going to dip my hand in. First thing that comes out is what I'm going to talk about, so in no particular order, let's begin. So the first thing I am going to talk about is a cleanser. So this is from Bybee and it is the Clarity Cleanse Daily Gel Cleanser. I've had this for a while. I'm not entirely sure where I had it from. It was probably a beauty subscription box, but I don't know which one. But I wasn't overly fond of this, if I'm honest. I was quite glad it was only a little tube. It was only 20ml. But yeah, it was okay. It kind of did the job. But I also felt like it left a bit of a residue on my skin, and I just didn't love that. If I'm using a cleanser, it's generally the last step before I sort of finish washing my face. So I don't want to have to wash again after a cleanser. So this is not something that I'm going to be looking at repurchasing, unfortunately. It wasn't for me. But that's that one. Next we've got this from Yesstyle. And this was the Dragon's Blood Cleansing Water. I have used this before, and this was something, I didn't repurchase it, but I wasn't wholly sad to get it again. Yesstyle is quite a pricey brand, so whenever I get a brand that's quite expensive, I'm usually enthusiastic about it. I say usually, there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I was quite pleased to see this again, to give it another go, and I've now decided that it's alright. It's nothing special. I certainly wouldn't pay Yesstyle money for a cleansing water. It's a micellar water, but you can get cheaper versions that do the same job. So yeah, I don't really see the need to pay that kind of money for something like this. It just didn't wow me, unfortunately. So again, this is something that I won't be repurchasing. If it did come into my life again, I would use it, but it's not my favourite. So next we've got two things from the same brand, and this is what I was talking about when I was talking about not always being excited about expensive brands. So the first thing I'll talk about is this. So this is from Avant, and it is the 8-hour retexturing and antioxidizing hyaluronic facial serum. And take a breath. And I quite liked the texture of this, the sort of the way it felt when it went onto the skin. It did feel quite hydrating, which I enjoyed. But it's Avant, and if you've been with me for a while, you've heard the rant about Avant. I'm just not a big fan of brands that cost an absolute fortune. When again, it was nice, but would I have said it's worth the probably 80, 90, £100 price tag? No, absolutely not. And I've mentioned before as well that the ingredients in this product, because this did come from a subscription box, it's not going to be the same as in the products that you buy from a website such as Look Fantastic. They're sort of, when I've checked, they sort of move around in the ingredients list, which means there's more or less of a certain ingredient depending on where it's placed. So if I did get this again, it wouldn't be the same product, it wouldn't be identical, and that just seems a little bit shady to me that you've got different products in subscription boxes. But yeah, Wouldn't repurchase, but it was alright. And then the second one, also from Avant, and this is the Moisture Surge Overnight Treatment. So essentially it was a night cream. Again, it was okay. I wasn't a massive fan of the texture of this actually. Like, it felt quite nice and smooth, but it did feel a little bit greasy to me. I don't necessarily mind that on a night cream because you're not going to be out in public. It doesn't really matter that much. But even with night creams, I don't like them to feel like they're heavy and greasy and just sitting on my skin. I do like to feel like some of it's being absorbed. By the time I got up in the morning, I couldn't really tell the difference, so that wasn't too bad, I suppose. But I don't know, it just, again, didn't wow me, and for the price tag, I want this to wow me, and it just doesn't. Next, we've got a hand cream. So this is from a brand I've never heard of actually, called Jessup. It was in a gift set that my husband bought for me for Christmas. There was just a whole heap of hand creams in this sort of size from the same brand, and then there was, I think there was a foot cream as well, and I feel like there was possibly something else in there, but I can't think what that was right now. It might be a lip balm. I think it was a lip balm. But yeah, hand creams are always quite useful. I do like to use them. I don't always use them as often as I should do, but I do like to use them, and my husband knows that I like to keep a little one in my handbag and a little one in my pocket for work. So he bought me a lot of little hand creams. He does occasionally listen to me. But yeah, this was rose scented, and it was rose scented if I recall. Yeah, that was quite heavily scented of rose, so if you're not a rose fan, something like this is something you should definitely steer clear of. I have opened a couple of the others that were in the box as well, and they're all quite heavily scented as well. I don't mind heavily scented things, so for me it wasn't a problem. I don't even mind rose scents, so again, not a problem for me, but it's just something to be aware of if you were looking at getting something like this. As for its effectiveness, it was alright. I didn't really notice that it didn't work, but I wouldn't have said that it was fabulous, amazing, never go and buy another type of hand cream again either. So it was just your standard run-of-the-mill hand cream for me. And then last but not least, I have a perfume. This was a sample. It was a little 8ml sample that I had from, I want to say, the fragrance shop. I think it's the fragrance shop. I have taken out, or have had rather, a subscription with them for a while now, where I pay, I think it's £12 a month, and you get an 8ml sample of perfume every month in one of these little containers. You can pop it into a little canister and you swap them out as and when you fancy it. This one is this one is Olympia Blossom. And I like the original Olympia. I prefer the Olympia Intense, and the Olympia Blossom was not my favourite. Out of the three, this definitely ranks at the bottom for me. It was just a little bit too sweet for me. I don't really like overpoweringly sweet scents. Occasionally I can let it slide. It depends on what it's paired with within the perfume. But this one was just really sweet for me, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. So this is something that I wouldn't be purchasing the full size of, but it was, if I got it as a sample, I'd use it, but I wouldn't buy it for myself. I like other perfumes better. So that was everything for August's Empties. If you've tried any of the products that I've talked about, or you're thinking about trying them, let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section down below. I really do love to hear all your thoughts and opinions. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button for me. It really does help me out and lets me know that you're enjoying my content. If you're not already subscribed to my channel but you think you'd like to catch up with me more often, then I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button too. It's totally free and would help you to find me more easily in future. future. And with all of that being said, I really do hope everyone's well and staying safe, and I will see you all again in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.